Hey, Elon Wick, good to see you. Perlette, hello. Marilyn, I am doing well. Thank you so much for joining us. And the judge, Tammy Stokes, is in the house. Superior Court Judge Tammy Stokes. You're not the first. You're actually one, two, three. You're number four. Sorry, but you could try again soon, Judge. Good to see you. Also, the Honorable Jeff Booker from Sea Bright, New Jersey, is on with us. Good to see you, sir. Alicia, good to see you as well. Janet is on with us. Evelyn, hello, Evelyn. I hope that you are doing well. Bernice is on all the way from Washington State. Always great to have her aboard. Hey, and then of course, um, my we call her what my stepmama-in-law is something. We have to figure out a name for who we are. We share a daughter, so um, it's like my grown daughter, mama. Minister Pastor Latrell Body, good to see you. Rashida, good evening to you. And LaJoy is on as well, and she's calling me Handy Dandy. So I hope that's a good thing. Elise, good to see you as well. And again, Judge Stokes, you were first when it mattered. So fourth here is not bad, but you were first when it mattered. Good to see you. Ethel Williams from the Hollands. Remind me, I got something to say about the Hollands. Gwen, good to see you as well. Shirley, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Gracie is aboard. And Gracie is in Columbia, South Carolina. Good to see you. The Honorable Cynthia Jenkins, the Mayor Pro Tem of Noonan, Georgia, in Coweta County. Good to see you as well. But Benesca, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And then my brother Richard Dinkins, good to see you. Thank you for joining us as well. Um, Ada says, had I spoke to Tasha, wait a minute, which Tasha? Her anniversary was yesterday. Which Tasha? Good to see Tiffany Blake. Good to see Lydia. Thank you for joining us. Artisha is on with us, and Barbara Dolores. Always a pleasure to see you as well. And Jessica wants to talk to me about National Boating Safety Week. And I am safe because I don't get in boats. Well, I don't get in little boats, but yeah, let's talk about it. Linda Kelly is on with us. Always good to see her as well. And Iron Bull, it's been a long week, but it's good to see you as well. Gina is on, and we're always happy to see Gina on with us. It is Friday Night Live. E. Joyce Paris is on. Hello, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Lenora is on. Good to see you. And now Julia Bright Dinkins is on. So I have two of the Dinkins on tonight, and so I'm waiting on the wife. And then we claim it in existence, of course. Judge Veronica Brinson is on in Macon, Georgia. And so those of you that live in Macon, Georgia, y'all do the right thing and y'all get Veronica Brinson in there. She is definitely, she put in work in there. I mean, when people were even talking about lawyers in Macon, Veronica Brinson was doing her thing there. So, do the right thing for her. Patty is on from Florida Space Coast. Good to see you. Wow. And then Kathy Cox is on. And I did not know that you follow me every week, but I am glad that you follow me every week. We've been on a whole lot of weeks, but thank you, Kathy, for joining us. And Janice Gregory is on, and I am on time, and I'll tell you why I'm on time as well. And Sam says, yo, yo, yo. I say, yo, yo, yo to Sam. Good to see you as well. And I am on time for our date. And then, of course, it's great to see Coach Cassell Bell from Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you for joining us. Jeannie Martinez is on. And Jeannie, it says you went to Pace, like our Pace, like New York Pace as well. Regina, good to see you. Hopefully my face is looking a little more healthy. So thank you for what you sent me. Good to see Miss Ethel on. Thank you for joining us as well. Jacqueline Graves, hello. Leonard, good to see you, sir. Thank you very much. And Regina is getting in front of us, but we will get there. Heather is on. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. And then Aunt Ollie is on. So it's always great to see Aunt Ollie on. Oh, my Tasha's. Oh, Ada. Okay, my sister Tasha. Her anniversary was this week. Yes, it was. I wished her happy anniversary. I think I did. Marilyn, thank you for joining us as well. Harry Thompson, good to see you, brother. I appreciate that. Gloria is saying good evening to everybody. And Christiana, I'm sorry. Great city council meeting. You don't even know. Whoo! It's just too much going on there. We'll talk a little bit about it. And then, good to see the gorgeous, great Glenda Jones on as well. Um, and good to see Eloise Deli. I love you too, Sister Eloise Deli. Thank you as well. Julie is on, and Julie was from our StoryCon conference. I'm going to tell you about that as well. Dana, thank you for joining us as well. Oh, Jessica's saying for the Coast Guard. Okay, yeah, get with me. Let's talk about it. Dana, still showing mad love um, for Ukraine, and we appreciate that as well. And LaJoy says great things. Okay. And I know Iron Bull, look, man, you got your business now. You make that money. I mean, look, I ain't paying none of your bills. So, I mean, you check in, you go make your money, bro. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Victoria is statewide. So in Savannah, if you live in Savannah, I mean, again, I mean, I've known Veronica Brinson for years, and so she's freaking awesome. I think so. Um, but Gwen, thank you for joining us as well. Alan Wright is on with us, and we do. It has been a little over a year since the tornado that ripped through Coweta County in Noonan, and Mayor Pro Tem Cynthia Jenkins is thanking me and Savannah and for the support. And of course, we do. We appreciate you and we love our folks there. Hey, Nisi, good to see you all the way from Hinesville, Georgia, as well. Jeffrey Walker is on. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us. And of course, the terrific Terry Mobley has joined us, and this is her 17th Deltaversary. So those of you who don't know, she is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and today marks 17 years since she crossed the burning sands into that great sisterhood. So congratulations to you, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give you some love for that. And Veronica says she so enjoys this show. So when you become a judge, you still gonna watch? Now don't, I got Superior Court Judge Tammy Stokes on. Don't become a judge and then don't come on Friday night. So I'm hoping, I believe you'll stick with us as well. And then Judy Nixon Johnson is on. Always great to see her. Vanessa Taylor says hello. I say hello. Crystal Kaufman is on. Says good evening, Savannah, as well. Okay, so yeah, Jeannie, you are from Pace. All right, so yeah, Pace University as well in New York. I'm very familiar with Pace. And hey, Mama Marsha Lieberman is on. Good to see you. You have been missing, young lady. And so I've given you a couple of passes, but it is good to see you. Barbara Kaufman is on, so I have one Lieberman, I have one Kaufman on. Oh, I got two Kaufmans on because Crystal has finally checked in. So I got Crystal Kaufman and I got Barbara Kaufman. So that's great as well. Albernia Jackson, it was great to see you on Sunday. Great to see you, and we got a picture together, so I was happy about that. Barbara Pinckney is on with us as well. And Philip wants to know about the City of Savannah's stance on accepting cryptocurrency and utilizing smart contracts and local infrastructure. The first answer is we right now we don't have a stance, and we're still talking about becoming a smarter city. Good to see Jacqueline Jones White. Good to see you as well. Miss Loretta is on with us as well. Ruel Francis, good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us. Willie, will we bring Tamachichi to Savannah? Tamachichi is in Savannah. So we're already there. Jacqueline is already shouting out Tara. Carla is on. Thank you so much. Helen, much love to you as well. Candy Girl is on. Good to see you, Candy, as always. And Nisi, don't come on with that roll tide mess today. We're not doing that. Don't make me unleash the dragons on you, because we ain't rolling no tide around here. We all love up in here. We all love. And Sharon Bryant is on, and she's giving us greetings from Midway. We are glad to have her on as well. Lorraine, thank you for joining us as well. Elder Flossie is on, and we are glad to see her on as well. Let's see, who else? Joycette has joined us, and Joycette, you pulled that jive, but when I tried to join the challenge this week, they said it was full. You didn't want me up in there because you knew it was going to go as well. So Helen is sending love. Hey, Miss Annette Mitchell, thank you for joining us as well. And Annette Tucker is on. So we got Annette Mitchell and Annette Tucker. And Glenda says that they have the best mayor in the nation. I don't know, but I try the best I can. Good to see Net on. Good to see you, Net. And of course, the Rockin' Robin from Kansas City, Missouri. She could be anywhere in the world, and she probably is as well. Hey, Miss Julia, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, and I mean, the magnificent Monica Thornton is on. I mean, I'm surprised she even has time to join us because she's just like, this like boss woman. And so always glad to have you on as well. Gloria, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. I appreciate you too. Christy is rolled up in the spot and said hola, so we said hola too. I love you too, Nisi. And Cheryl went to Vegas and did not tell us and did not take us. What kind of stuff is that? But you did come on as well. And we have the Honorable Teeny Ade Broughton from Pensacola, Florida. We had a delegation from Florida here. I have not posted the pictures yet because I'm a slacker in that regard. And so we were so glad to have her and the mayor of Pensacola coming to see what was happening in our city. Margie, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Patricia West has joined us as well. Last week I saw Patricia West and we all walked for arthritis. And so I walked it, and I mean, I was feeling all right as well. Let's see, Sabrina, good evening to you as well. Sarah Stevens, thank you. Sarah Stevens is Liberty County's finest and Liberty City's finest as well. Good to see Greg Coy on with us as well. And so Robin is in Las Vegas as well. Okay, so we just had somebody else in Vegas as well. Y'all should hook up. And Barbara is on with us. Thank you so much. And Josette, all right, you stalled. I did not stall. But thank you also. Yes, Barbara, she does have a beautiful name. It's Teeny Ade. And so it took me forever to be able to pronounce it. Teeny Ade. And although she's a council member she's a council member in Pensacola, she actually has roots to the person that Broughton Street is named for in Savannah. And so that was really cool to find out. Good to see Sister LaWanda Tillman on. It was a great opportunity being with the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha on your 25th anniversary, and it was good to see you, and thank you for the invitation. Great to see my friends, the Libertarians of Effingham County on. Always good to see you on, and let's go ahead and get this party started. So thank you so much. Carol, I don't even see what happened. But Elizabeth Clark is on with us, and Patrice is on with us. And so let's go ahead and get started. Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate that. If it's Friday in Savannah, and you keeping the faith and following science, you out, but you not out, then you're here with me. It's Friday Night Live. We have done it again. We thank the Lord. Here we are again. 7 more days. 7 whole days. We have made it from last Friday to this Friday. We have endured many dangerous toils and snares. Some of us have cried. Some of us have been burdened. But we knew if we could make it to Friday, you would be back in our love vortex. And we are so happy that you are here. This is week 110. What is wrong with you people? Every Friday for the last 110 weeks, we have gotten together. We've prayed together. We've lifted each other up. We've talked. We've tried. We've done all we could. We've mourned together every Friday for the last 110 weeks. And the thing is that y'all won't let me go. And y'all won't let me go because I'm not letting you go. And so, yeah, we know the weather is beautiful outside. It is a beautiful night here in Savannah. And people are all over the place. I got all these people in town. I got the county commissioners from all over the state, from the 159 counties here in town. I got all these other folks in town. And so here I was turning up on a rooftop bar with some friends. Hey, Brother Keith, good to see you. And then I was like, yo, They were like, man, we having a great time. I said, yeah, I'm having a great time. I was like, but I got to go. And they said, what? They said, man, we're having a great time. Hey, Yvette, good to see you. I said, I got to go. I've got a standing date on Fridays at 8:30, and I've got to be there. I mean, I'm having a great time with you, but I got to go home, and I have got to get with my people, even just for a little while. So, I mean, 110 weeks. This is the greatest relationship, the greatest situationship, the greatest entanglement, the greatest boo up ever in the history of social media. We're saying it 110. We're not syndicated. We're just some folks that get together and you come and you do it. And Ivy Fair has snuck back into this room, and we have got to. So Terry, you need to be watching her. You need to be watching her. And Maddie, thank you so much. But again, thank you again. I'm so gratified that 110 weeks, and some of y'all, we've been working on this, and we've been here, and I appreciate that. And so I can't tell you how much it means to me that still, even on a beautiful Friday night, all over the country, and we are so glad to have the amazing Ann Allen Westbrook on with us, who's doing great things. Remember that name, Ann Allen Westbrook, as well. And Patty is here as well. Thank you so much. So I just want you to know, here we are. And so we want you to like the page. Like the page. If you will, take a moment to please like the page. Then we want you to share the page. You know, I always ask you to share the page because we're not selfish with our love. We're not selfish with our prayers. We're not selfish with our encouragement. We're not. Kathy, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're not selfish with it. So, you know what? We want people to see it. And you know what? Some of them might be haters, and it's okay because we're not going to be negative to you. We're not going to let negativity come up in this. We're just not. There's too much to deal with on Saturday through Friday evening. And so we just have a time in which we just talk about the things that we're talking about. So we appreciate that. Carolyn is on. That means that Savannah is watching as well. Carolyn had the nerve to come into Savannah, and she didn't think I would know about it, but I did know about it. I'm the mayor. That's my job. So we want you to do that. Then also, as we do every Friday, you know what it is. We're going to show love to our girl Tara. And so we send out hashtag Tara Strong. That's the 3 green, and the red one is for our Friday night live. And so we send love to Tara. You don't have to know her. If you do, you know how amazing she is. But we've been sending out love for her and what she is dealing with. And we know that prayers work. And we know that we have to do the things we have to do to keep people lifted up and keep them strong. And I will tell you, I know that her and her family, they see Tara strong, and that keeps her stronger. That keeps her stronger. That keeps her lifted, and I'm so appreciative of that. So, a lot of things to talk about. First thing I wanted to talk about was, early on this week, we had the first story conference here in Savannah. We call it StoryCon, hashtag StoryCon. And it was an Institute of Story. And so this was Hospice Savannah, a lot of great folks, including our own Dr. Bertice Berry. And it was great. Hey, Felicia, good to see you as well. Sandra, I'm going to hold that for a minute because I need to answer that one. But anyway, we'll talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. That she needs sidewalks on Abercorn. Yeah, we need sidewalks everywhere, but we're going to deal with that in just a minute. Matter of fact, you need to watch the meeting, Sandra, yesterday because that's all we talked about at 4 o'clock. It's on my page. Take a look at it. We've been talking about it. So that's what we're working on. I mean, it costs money, but we'll talk about it. Anyway, and Sabrina is on with us as well. Good to see you. And so the story conference was freaking amazing. I had the opportunity on Sunday to open up our very first story conference. And the fact of the matter is everybody has a story. And we have used in Savannah stories to be able to heal. Stories are testimonies of the tests you have been through. And if you've lived longer, if you've lived long enough, and you've been through some things, you have a story. And the purpose of you going through to have that story is to be able to tell your story. And in telling your story, you are healed in telling your story. It may not heal your body, but it certainly heals your spirit. So it was an amazing conference. It was Sunday through Wednesday, and I had the opportunity to participate on Sunday and Monday. It was absolutely great. We're going to do it again next year. And again, so grateful to Hospice Savannah, so grateful to um, Dr. Bertice Berry and all of those folks that put that on. And we have some people on now that I'm joined. I actually met a lady from Missouri, and I had just met her, and she's been on Friday Night Live, but we just met for the first time Monday. And that's happening now more and more. I'm running into people that are in our Friday night family. And again, I have to go ahead and get a live Friday night together. We have to do that. So I'm going to make sure that we get together. I just have to plan something and get a place we can get to and just be together. So coming soon, Friday Night Live. I think, Billy, I think you might be able to look, go to Hospice Savannah. If you look at the Institute of Story, they might have it there, but it was pretty phenomenal. The next thing is that early voting ended last week. Voting starts on Monday. A couple of things I want you to do, and I will post all of this on my page. I want you to, first of all, take a moment and make sure you are registered to vote. Okay, I don't know if Sabrina German is on here, um, but go ahead and take a moment um, and see if you could do that. All right. Um, Let me see if I can find it. Um, it's my. I'm gonna post it for you because I want you to take a moment just to make sure that you are registered to vote. Our reality is this: is that, and I'm being honest with you, in Georgia, with all this crap that's been going on, people have been purged, and so I want to make sure that people know that you are registered to vote. So here it is right there. I just posted it. Take a moment when you get a chance and make sure you are registered to vote. Okay? And you do that by putting in your first initial, your last name, as I'm doing this right now as we're talking. You check a county, and so most of us will be where? In Chatham County, of course. And then you put your date of birth. And then you do it. And then you see if you're registered to vote. And let's see, am I registered to vote? The answer is, all right, I'm active. Okay, so you see how quick that was? You could also view my sample ballot, and maybe I'll do that next week. You could look at the sample ballot as well, if you're a Democrat, a Republican, or a non-partisan ballot, so you can look at that as well. And you have for senator, you have for governor, you have for lieutenant governor, you have for secretary of state, attorney general, commissioner of agriculture, commissioner of insurance, state school superintendent, commissioner of labor, public service commission for 2 districts, for the House of Representatives, for the state senate, and then some of you have district races as well. I have the 163rd district as well for the Board of Elections and for the Chatham County Board of Elections. So again, I looked at it just that quick, and so you could do that as well. And Billy, yes, they do have sample votes there. So you can look at your sample ballots there. So go ahead and take an opportunity. Again, people like Veronica Brinson in Macon, who's running for a statewide seat, Judge Stokes, who doesn't have any opposition. I'm going on because I want to vote for Judge Stokes anyway, just to make sure. And then people like Ann Allen Westbrook, who's running, people like Derek Mallow and those who are running, here, be a part. You can't complain about stuff if you don't take a part in the process. And so, Billy, if you select nonpartisan, it will show. I think all of your options if they're nonpartisan. So I think if you're nonpartisan, you wouldn't necessarily see the Democratic side or the Republican side. I think. Let me check right quick. That's actually a really good question. Let me see. We're gonna look and see the nonpartisan thing. All right, here we go. All right. So we're waiting for it to come up. I don't. Well, actually, I don't see a nonpartisan sample ballot. It hasn't come up yet, so I don't know. We'll wait and see if it comes. Oh, it's working. All right. So, but anyway, go ahead and get involved. Make sure that you are voting. I won't tell you um, who to vote for, but I will tell you that nothing can be changed unless it's faced, and uh, if it's faced, it will never change. Or if it, well, sorry, nothing can be. Uh, not all things that are faced can be changed, but it won't change unless it is faced. So I need you to get out there, and I need you um, to vote. Okay, and so you know we're going to be a little nonpartisan here, so um, we'll let you go ahead. But make sure you're active. Take a moment to make sure you are active. You're active. You're active. Hey, good to see Mr. Cliff McCurry. Thank you, sir, and I appreciate that. And I want to talk about that too as well. Uh, Dr. Heather is on with us, and I want you to know I appreciate you. I haven't heard from you in a while, so I appreciate you doing all that you do as well. So I wanted to talk about that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and we'll talk about that too, was about well, good, Tanya. I'm glad you're watching live. Yeah, I think we have to keep the Johnny Mercer Theater. Um, people are talking about because we had a new arena that we didn't need the Civic Center. And the fact of the matter is this: everybody in Savannah, if you've been here any length of time, has a Civic Center story. I have had some great times in the Savannah Civic Center. I've gone to weddings and funerals, concerts and plays, meetings, all of that. Good to see you, Cynthia, as well, in the Savannah Civic Center. We know that the arena costs more to fix than it does to replace, so we're going to knock that down. LaMonica, good to see you, but we think the Johnny Mercer Theater definitely has value. We can keep the Johnny Mercer Theater, put some money into it. Good to see you, Megan. Thank you for joining us. Sandra, good to see you. Good to see you, Sister Barbara. We could put some money into it. And again, for us right now, all we would have is a 400 seat theater in the Cultural Arts Center and then a 9,500 seat arena. And there are events that just don't do well in arenas. It just don't. So we have a fabulous arena, but we need to maintain a Johnny Mercer for the Philharmonic. I mean, my vision of it is that we would keep the Johnny Mercer Theater. We would expand the meeting rooms because again, people need affordable meeting space. And then we expand our ballroom. I mean, there have been all types of receptions, and people can't afford some of these for-profit institutions out there. So, um, I want to make sure that we have that, and then I want to put a outside rooftop venue outside where people can have, um, you know, we can have events on the roof of the Civic Center. I mean, have our own rooftop thing. And so I think there's so many opportunities here. We have to exercise some vision. And so I just was not in favor of knocking it all down. So I think that the council is on the right track here. And so I'm appreciative of that. So I've talked about that. Also, for those of you who watched the city council meeting last night with your popcorn, again, I want to be very, very and absolutely clear about this. I'm going to always carry myself in a manner that is worthy of your respect and worthy of the confidence that you have placed in me as well. Hey, Catherine, it's okay that you're late. It's okay. We forgive you. But, you know, I cannot be responsible for anybody else except for me. And so all I'm saying is, you know, we're human. And understand that you did not hire robots for this job. You did not hire superheroes for this job. you hired humans. Hopefully, you hired adults. And so there is, in my mind, and it's a necessity for us to be able to act with dignity and decorum. I am fully aware that children watch us, and so if people don't see respectful behavior with between us, then what we can't be surprised about how people act. Um, be very, very clear. For those of you who've been watching for quite some time, you know that Eddie DeLoach and I did not agree on a bunch of stuff. We agreed on a lot of stuff, but there's a bunch of stuff we did agree on. Um, but nonetheless, and that's why we're still friends today. I saw him today. Went to an amazing event for his niece, Abby DeLoach, and the Abby DeLoach Foundation. But the fact of the matter is, good to see you, Faye, is that he is the mayor of the city, well, was the mayor of the city, and he was due um, respect. And even though we didn't agree, my job was to get out there and go as hard as I could. And then when it was over, I mean, it was over. It's not personal. I mean, I think we have to expect that we act with a certain amount of decorum. And so, I have to do that even when it's not shown to me. And so, sometimes it's a little harder than others. But the fact of the matter is, again, um, you don't go to every fight you're invited to. And so, good to see you, Dr. Blake. And so, the foolishness is the foolishness, and it's up for you all to judge uh, how that is. So, that being said, we had a very long meeting about um, a workshop about what we're doing about transportation. We know that we need sidewalks and things. And so we're talking about how we talk about how we deal with sidewalks, how do we deal with traffic calming. We know that people speed all over the place. And so what I'm proposing to council is that firstly, we should have speed bumps around all playgrounds and schools as a baseline because we know wherever children are, there's always that danger. And then we can always talk about in neighborhoods and districts and streets. Speed bumps are not always the way to go. I mean, sometimes you write a couple of tickets, it slows everybody down. So I think that is um, part of how we address that. And then, of course, there's a whole lot of money that's required for this stuff. And so the goal is to do it in a way that happens within our lifetime. The other thing is, and what I'm committed to, and I was committed to it when I was an alderman on Savannah's first district, and that was to the Highlands. And so I think I found several funding mechanisms, and this year we're going to be moving forward, as far as I'm concerned, to go ahead and relieve the bottlenecks that occur at Highlands and Benton Boulevard. Um, this has been crazy, crazy. And so people in the Highlands should not have to deal with the continuous traffic, particularly as we're adding new plats, particularly as we're adding new neighbors out there. It is a beautiful, wonderful place to live if you can get home. And, and if people can get out. So we owe that to the folks in Highlands. I promised that when I was the alderman there, and obviously the state got involved, and the state said, "Well, we'll do it for you, but we want you to lift the truck ban, and we wanted to protect our neighborhood." So we said, "You keep your money. We don't want the truck ban." But I think we found some ways to be able to fund it, and so my intention, I believe I have council support, is we're gonna go ahead and make that happen. We need to make it happen, and so that's what I'm committing to, Ethel. So that's what I was talking to you about earlier. I was saying um, we need to go ahead. We got the plans, and let's just go ahead, put the money behind it, and make it happen. So Michelle, good to see you, and thank you for joining us. So that's what I wanted to talk about as it related to that. The other thing we talked about was about the need for a downtown government. Um, and the fact is that the city of Savannah is a very interesting city, but we are definitely different in the evenings than we are during the daytime. We're different. And I'm not talking about just, good to see you, Georgia. Thank you for joining us. I'm not talking about downtown clubs. I'm talking about our entire city. It's just different. Our city takes on a different feel. And our problem is that our government, by function, except for public safety, is 8 to 5. And what we need to do is act like the big boys we are and have a nighttime government. Because, people know we're not doing code, we're really not doing sanitation, we're really not doing a bunch of things that we could and should be doing citywide. And so the goal is ultimately we need to be able to have a government, and I'm talking about our government, but of the city of Savannah, we have people working in the evenings and on weekends and on holidays to ensure that people are getting the services they need. Many of you, at times when people have called for different things and they're like, well, I'm sorry, everybody's out till Monday. So essentially the goal is that for the city, we just need to allocate resources to be available after hours. And so that is citywide. That is citywide. And so, hey, Molly, good to see you as well. Artina, thank you for joining us. And so that's all it is. It has to be bigger than downtown because we have people who have issues. All right, Marsha, Molly, your mama Marsha said hello. I'm sure y'all just together, but Molly, say hello to your mother. Marsha says hello. But we need to be able to think outside of that box. And so the nighttime government, and that's what I'm calling it, for lack of a better word, we are paying $80,000 for a study to have people to look at how we allocate our resources. If there is a parking issue, and if it's after 8 o'clock on Friday, you're not going to find anybody to do parking. If it's an issue of zoning or issues of code, you're not going to find anybody to do it. And the fact is that our city is a 24-hour city. We have to act and behave like that. Hey, Marjorie Young has joined us from the Rotary Convention in Augusta, and I'm glad to be a Rotarian, service above self. Good to see LaDonna on, and good to see you, and you keep your head up. Trouble don't last always. And yeah, well, Carol, that's the point. I think the county could adopt it because, again, if you're trying to have animal services, and that's not a city function, but it's going to be difficult. And so we're saying we need to be more responsive to you, and we're saying that we need to be available to you, and we're saying that we need to find a way to be able to help make that happen. And so the whole nighttime government, there was a lot of questions about it, but the reality is that we have to give you the services you deserve citywide all of the time. And so good to see Tashana on as well. And of course, the awesome Linda Wilder Bryant, who is doing great things in District 3. And I'm just so appreciative to have her on City Council. Glad to see you. But so that's what this is all about. And so the council approved this as a part of our FY22 budget, and then everybody acted like they didn't know what we were talking about. And so I don't know if that was happening, but again, the goal is that once we need, first of all, we need somebody who is not affiliated with the city, because we can't judge ourselves. So we need somebody who is not affiliated with the city to be able to look at us citywide and see the ebbs and flows of our city. Good to see my beautiful, awesome niece, Stony Cheyenne. Good to see you. Uncle loves you, sweetie. And Lanice, good to see you as well. And Iron Bull, I know you want to do all the work, but you can't do that work. This is the best in the country, and we want them to do a disinterested third-party look at our city. And we don't want them to have no foregone conclusions. We want them to talk to people. We want them to visit the city. We want them to see, and it changes. Our city is different in the winter than it is in the spring. It's different in the spring than it is in the summer. It's different in the summer than it is in the fall. So we need to be able to have that data and then make our decisions based on data. Good to see you, Kenneth. We shouldn't do it based on emotion. We shouldn't do it based on passion. We should do it based on the data. And so that's why you contract with people to get the data, so that we have a plan that we can implement that is fair and is responsive. So I was supportive of it, and it did pass, and so we're happy. We're also doing some major things with housing yesterday, and so we were excited about that. Again, one of our focuses is affordable housing, making housing affordable for Savannahans, and so we did two major moves as it relates to that. One was floating a loan to hopefully get some low-income tax credits to help one of our projects go through and get the credits that it needs. So I was excited for that. So very, 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 very excited about that. And, you know, it passed. I think, well, two people voted against it. But, you know, again, it's okay. You know, we're moving on. We're moving on. So we're excited about that. And let me see, what else I wanted to talk about. And then, well, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that there is still unacceptable amounts of gun violence in our city. And it happened again last weekend. And again, you think about it. I mean, when you look, I mean, natives seem to lose their minds on the weekends and after hours. When you look at when this stuff happens, it doesn't happen in the daytime, it happens at night. And we have to keep some of that in mind as well. And that's right, Linda reminded me, shouts out to not only the city of Savannah and Martin Freddie, but also to the Community Housing Services Agency, CHSA, who does magnificent work in our community. And so we appreciate them as well for all that they do. But yeah, we have, you know, we have crime like everywhere else. I was in D.C. Talking to mayors from across the country, and again, everybody's facing the same issue. It seems like folks have lost their minds, and it's sad that they have. And you know, unfortunately, I get this whole thing about, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, look, we're going to do everything we can do, but let's be very, very clear. Be very, very clear. I never promised to be anybody's savior. I can't save people from themselves. I said I would be a servant, and so that's what I am. And I'm going to go hard every single day to be able to try to create opportunities for people to do better. If people want an off-ramp, we're going to provide them an off-ramp. If they want to do better, we're going to help them to do better. But at the end of the day, it's not our job to raise people's children. Be very, very clear. It's not our job. And I'm not taking responsibility. That's why I didn't have any kids. And so, you know, I mean, I don't know what people, what you going to do about crime? I mean, I would go take a gun out of somebody's hand. I mean, you know, the fact of the matter is that you have people running for state office right now. The reality is this, is that when you allow guns to be everywhere, then you can't be surprised when guns show up everywhere. Be clear. Be clear. And again, I'm not trying to be, I'm not anti-gun. Again, everybody knows, you know, I carry. I mean, but the fact of the matter is, we know that guns get in the hands of people who should not have guns. And what we've been pressing for, and I know Ann Allen Westbrook is on here with her and Moms Demand Action, they're just asking for gun laws to make sense. It makes no sense that it should be easier to get a gun than it is to get a driver's license. But right now, it's easier to get a gun than it is to get a driver's license. That's our problem. And yet people want to ask me about what I'm doing, but y'all need to ask your folks in the state, what are they doing? Where's the gun legislation? Ask them here in Congress. They've been trying to make some common sense gun legislation, and it gets stuck. When these people are coming to ask you about ways of being able to, how they want your vote, you want to tell them you want responsible gun ownership. Number one. Number two, y'all have got to lock up y'all guns. We have gotten I think it was 483 freaking guns were stolen from cars in Savannah last year. 480 some odd guns. Don't quote me on it, but it was like 480 something. And many of these cars were unlocked. Who do you think you are fooling? People know that you keep the gun underneath the seat, you keep the gun in the arm console, you keep the gun in the glove compartment. They know that. They know that. And so all I'm saying, and I agree with you, Billy, that's why we need the federal government to step in and help us with this. Because there are people with mental health issues who are able to get a gun. They should not have a gun. There are people with a history of domestic violence. They should not have a gun, yet they have guns. There are people who have not demonstrated responsible behavior, and yet they're able to get a gun. And all I'm saying, I think all people like Ann Allen Westbrook and folks are saying is that, hey, we're not against you having guns. Some of those moms that demand action got guns. But what they're saying is we want to make it difficult. We want to make sure that those who have guns are those who should have guns. We're not talking about the responsible legal gun owners. We're talking about everybody else. And so, to me, that last gunplay was absolutely foolishness. And to me, it was an election year politics, and it's unfortunate. And so y'all want to sit here and blame me? Well, no. We have to do two things. We need to have stronger gun laws, but on the other end of it, we have to make sure that there is a penalty associated. I mean, I talked about this before. When I was growing up, wherever I committed the offense is where my butt got cut. That could be anywhere. But I knew that the punishment was going to be, it was going to be clear, it was going to be consistent, and it was going to be immediate. And so therefore, I had to make a decision whether I wanted to actually do that. And so for me, it wasn't worth it. And so I didn't. And so for gun crimes in this community, and I'm pushing for it. I mean, I am pushing for it because people need to make the decision and know that if you should not have a gun and you have a gun, that the consequences are going to be clear, they're going to be consistent, comprehensive, and immediate. And that's why we've been working with the federal U.S. attorney to help us to be able to help us prosecute some of these crimes. Because, see, the state might play games with you. The feds don't play games with you. You do federal time. You do federal time. And so for those of you who have kids or young people that you know or loved ones you know that are living that life, you've got to talk to them. You've got to tell them. And y'all know I'm buying guns. So if people want to get rid of that, I don't care about your background and all that. You want to get rid of a gun, we'll, holler at me. We'll buy the gun back because we need to get these guns off the street. We have to get them off the street. And so I'm going to do all that I can to do that. And again, the city of Savannah is going to do all that we can to provide opportunities. We are providing unprecedented opportunities for our young people. We're providing off-ramps. And yes, Stacey Abrams is running again. As a matter of fact, she is here in town and will be in town this weekend. So, yes, she is here. And I'm excited about it, really, for real. But, I mean, I'm not going to let y'all blame me for what grown folk do. I'm just not going to do it. Because, what you going to do about it? What you going to do about it? We going to do what we can do. But at the end of the day, I'm not your parent. And so for mothers who come and they're crying and they're upset and all of that about what happened, it was like you knew. I've gone to hospitals in the middle of the night and I'm talking to young people who were shot. Who shot you? I ain't talking to you. I don't know who shot me. You know who shot me. You know. Latanya, if you send me if you inbox me, Latanya, I'll take care of you, okay? All right, if you um, send it to me, Latanya, and I'll get that taken care of for you. Yes, Stacy is here and she is speaking. I think you have to go to her website, but yeah, she's here and we'll be together for most of the day tomorrow. But you know, I mean, I mean, I don't know what to do um, because we're complaining about the result, and I'm tired of young black men, lives being lost for victimizing and for being a victim, and that's the majority um, that has happened. We don't know how to peaceably resolve conflict. And so we get into beefs, and it's very clear it's about the same things. It's about drugs, it's about money, or it's about a woman. I don't use drugs, I don't have any money, and no woman is worth me shooting you over except my mama. I'll be real clear about that. You mess with my mama, I might have to go ahead and do the time. Now, I'm sorry. I'm with y'all. I'm being real. I'm being real, real, real. My mama, my sisters, my nieces, uh, it might go real left. But, if it's a woman, look, man, bruh, you wanna, you have her. Psh, I'm out. Go ahead. You wanna, go ahead. It ain't worth me getting into no beef with you about. Because you gonna shoot me and I'll die. You go to jail and then she goes with somebody else. So just keeping it real. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. So we'll continue to do it. We'll continue to keep our eyes, um, on the goal, and we'll do what we have to do. But you know, the public safety is a public's responsibility. You see crap happen and you don't say nothing. You say it's none of your business. Then when it victimizes you, you wonder why people don't talk. And so we have a 90% close rate on homicides. 90%, which means 9 out of 10 times in Savannah. If you do it, we're gonna catch you. Good to see you, Tyrone Brown, the legend himself. Um, Greg, what about the British citizen shot in Savannah? The latest in the cases is under investigation. I would just caution people not to draw conclusions quickly. Um, but we're sorry that it occurred, but there are facts in this case that have yet to be established, and so um, when they're established, then the police will release that. Where will Stacy be? Stacy will be all over the place. I think she'll be um, like on 32nd Street, um, like at 4:30 or something like that. Hey, Vandalin, good to see you. Trying to steal my name. And we have Commissioner Kendra Rose. She is the city commissioner for Brunswick. As a matter of fact, she was with Stacey Abrams today in Brunswick. Stacey was making her rounds. I was in Brunswick, and so Commissioner Rose spent considerable time there representing for Brunswick. So Brunswick's day was today. Sea Island knows was tonight, and then Savannah, our time is this weekend. So she'll spend time here. Debbie Williams Walker, Debbie Williams Walker, Debbie Williams Walker is here. So before I go, a couple of quick things I need to tell you about. I've got to tell you about them. They're all on my page. They're all on my page, but I want you to look at them. So if you have, if you know, or if you have a small business in Savannah that was impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, the city, we have now a small business recovery program that will be providing limited financial assistance, up to $10,000 in federal grant funds to small businesses directly impacted by COVID-19. You have to be an eligible business. You have to have been in business as of January 2020. You have to have a City of Savannah business license operating in Savannah. you had to have been affected by the pandemic. So that's on my page. Please get out there and please share that as well. If your gas furnace or gas water heater has conked out, you can call HopeWorks. You have to be 65 or older. You have to own and be living in your home. And so that's on my page as well. Please go to my page, get that, and share. That's why I want you to like my page. We also have an opportunity here. We have a special Dreammaker financing for a limited time. We know that home sale prices are increasing here in Savannah, and so we are providing funds to help people buy their first home. And so we have money that may be available for approved home buyers with signed sales contracts by June the 1st. And if you purchase your home by July the 1st, the buyer income, buyer location, and sales price and other Dreammaker requirements apply. And so you think about this. We'll give you home purchase assistance for first-time home buyers. And if you work for St. Joseph Candler or Memorial, you can do that as well. And so that's on my page. So we're helping people buy their first homes. Also, we do gap financing, and so we want to make sure you know about that as well. The Georgia Legal Services Program and the City of Savannah, we partner together to help you protect your home. If you have a home, do you have a will? If you have a will, is up to date. A lot of us have issues because we think, first of all, we're going to live forever. Secondly, that we think our kids are going to do right. They don't. They don't. Death brings out the best and the worst in people. And so when it's all over, people say you said things you did not say, and your house ends up in probate because people, they can't seem to get along. So I want to make sure that you have that opportunity to do that as well. And Barbara, thank you for putting that out there. Let me see. Thank you, Vandalyn, even though you stole my name. If you're unsure about what happens to you should you pass, if you need ways to preserve your home, if you need to make repairs, but you lack title to your home, join the Georgia Legal Services Program in the City of Savannah, and we're calling this the Home Ownership Protection Project. See, man, look, we're doing work. We're doing our best to be able to help our folks to be able to withstand all that's going on. So that's on my page as well. Please get on there. Please share it. And then we have a basic home repair program. And so if your home is in Savannah, if it's owner occupied and habitable, if you meet certain income and eligibility requirements, we have volunteers, we have grants and loans that we offer to help eligible homeowners make repairs to your house. And so we do roofing, we do exterior painting or electrical, plumbing, and HVAC systems. And we have volunteers that come in and help as well. And so we have that information. We want you to get involved and get engaged in that as well. And so a lot of stuff happening. Again, we're doing our best to help people to be a part. All right. And yes, Carol, I was out there at Tribble Park, and the fact is that it used to be some type of retention pond, and it has some serious issues underneath it. And it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to probably be a couple of $1 million to fix it. So we're trying to figure out how and what we do. And, I know Curtis Pertee is working hard on that. And so as soon as we get together, we'll figure it all out. Michelle, thank you so much. I think you're awesome too. And Nisi, you want to move to Savannah? Come on to Savannah. I would be happy about that. And Lisa, you did left me a private message. Well, good. I appreciate that as well. And Heather, Dr. Heather, we're still waiting for you. You've promised a couple of years ago to visit Savannah, and you have not visited yet. So, yeah. Well, yeah, Billy, it is bad, but I mean, again, it costs. It just costs. I mean, I think we've gone under it. I mean, this is a man-made lake. And the fact is, there are things underneath it that something is wrong with it. And so, we have to get it fixed. We drained it. And so we just have to figure out what the fix is, the best way to get that done, and get it done as soon as we can. So thank you very much. And Vanessa, thank you very much. And again, I am just so appreciative of you all. I'm appreciative of us getting together. And ladies and gentlemen, we have completed week number 110. 110. And after all that time, we still together after 110 weeks. That's pretty amazing. And I just thank you all so much for your love, your care, your support. I thank you for your questions. I thank you for challenging me. I don't mind being challenged. But I thank you for having the confidence in me and the confidence in Linda and other folks on council for making the work and doing. They didn't ask for coming in during a pandemic, and they are doing the best that they absolutely can. And we're pushing as hard as we can, but there are some laws of physics that cannot be ignored. And so, wow. I see Laura Renee Smith has finally joined us from Pennsylvania, so we're glad about that. And so we love you all 110 times, and we look so forward to seeing you again. We'll have to have our Mother's Day edition. This is the last weekend in April. I mean, this is already flying by. And so, again, thank you for being you. Thank you for being Savannah Strong. Thank you for keeping me in your prayers. Thank you for being the absolutely amazing people you are. And we cannot wait till Tanisha finally moves back to Savannah. We don't know why you left. You shouldn't have left. But come on back. We'll go ahead and let you in. And I'm going to try my best. We're going to go ahead and get this done as well to make sure that we can get some type of event. I mean, maybe Carrie here to something. We're going to have something. And I'm just going to open it up. And then, y'all want to come, I'm going to do it live. And then we can all sit around and eat and enjoy. Regina, thank you so much. Everybody, good. I love Linda Wilder Bryan, too. God bless you all. Have a great week. Great week. Vanessa, thank you. Have a great week. Bye-bye.